Guys, hello. I am coming live from my lounge. I am coming live. I'm actually trying to turn the music down. I'll be turning it down in a second. Hold up. All right, so I'm back. Okay, so I I obviously have had too many cocktails. So today I'm kind of celebrating as well as just trying to relax because I have been busy. Hold up, let me turn the music down some more. Yeah, so I've been crazy busy. We have done so many. My husband came in and we have done so many projects. I finally got my hair done actually today. I went blonde. I've never, ever gone blonde ever. I mean, as a black girl, your hairstyle is endless, but I am just one of those black girls who um, just never have gone crazy with my hairstyle in terms of the color. I love burgundy, so I do burgundy, but I've never gone blonde. So I did it today. I went to my hairdresser, and last year you guys know I shaved all around, right? So I just kind of went blonde today. I went to the hairdresser, and she was looking for some burgundy braid for me, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do blonde. I'm at the bar. I'm at the lounge. It's crazy hair at times, and it's sexy, so I like it. I'm like, you know what? Let me do blonde. I mean, hey, what's there to lose, right? So I'm over here. I'm by myself actually. It's a Tuesday night, so it's not a regular opening night. So it's gonna be probably just me talking to you the whole time. I don't expect any customers. It was last night. Lots of people came in on a Monday night, even though it's not a regular opening night. So it's very unpredictable. Like business is unpredictable in Guyana, and people are, kind of crazy about the weather, like not coming out during crazy weather. And but once the weather is good, like I told you guys before, it's very horrible outside during the stormy weather nights and days. But definitely during the good weather, I find that they come out. And last night it had a decent crowd here. If my face is oily, forgive me. I honestly came right in from the hairdresser and went straight to cleaning. I never stopped cleaning because if you guys know, Linden is a very sandy area, and the front of my facility is still with sand. It's filled with sand because we're still doing construction. And besides that, the ground is sand that where they park. So once they step out, they're stepping onto sand, which means it comes right into the facility most of the time. So what I'm trying to do is eventually get to that project where I can lay the ground with, just with cement and make it into a nice parking space. But for now, but as you guys know, I always say everything costs money. And because I'm doing this project out of pocket, I need to make sure that I am not running myself dry. So I'm gonna do that project in a little bit, right? So I'm not ready for it yet. I've got other things to do. So I'm here at the lounge. My husband left today to go to Georgetown, and eventually he will be flying back to Miami tomorrow. Love him loads, and I am so thankful he came in and literally executed like so many projects that we had to do, which saved us a ton of money. Because if you had to pay to get those things done, lay the blocks, cement it would cost. And so even though he hasn't done those things before, he actually came and did it, and it looked really great. I'm gonna show you guys it in a little bit. So that saved us money, probably at least maybe I would say about 50,000 Guyana dollars, which is only about 250 US dollars. Still money. And every bit counts when you're dealing with projects constantly. So for me, I was very, very happy. That's just the runway. He painted, he did a lot of little things within the facility of itself. And it's just so many endless. Like he came for 3 weeks, and literally every day he was underground. He actually got sick, like after about, maybe 2 weeks. He got sick for about 3 days, so he couldn't do anything during those 3 days because he had his shirt off and he was in the rain and the sun, and Guyana weather is brutal, in terms of the rain. So you got to be careful with that. So anyway, he got sick and wasn't able to was out of commission for about 3 or 4 days. So during that time, he just laid low and didn't do much, but I jumped into, my first gear as always, and I picked up where he left off in terms of the things that I could do, and just continued with the projects on the facility. There are lots of things going on because we've got the inside part of the lounge, right? So this is where the inside is. But there's so much that I want to do on the outside that it's really, really hard to just get everything done all together. And I came on here with the intention to tell you why I'm still here, because I'm actually supposed to be leaving in a few weeks, but it's really hard to leave. Honestly, I mean, it's addictive. This whole business process is addictive. That's one thing. But also knowing that you've invested your monies, lots of money actually, and it's out of pocket, you feel connected to it and you feel like you need to see it through. You also know from the culture that you shouldn't trust anybody because people will take your stuff and they don't care, right? They will take everything you have. I'm telling you, everything that you've worked for. So if you're going to do this process of remigration, you want to make sure, and you're getting into business, do make sure you can be on the ground like I told you before. Do make sure that you're handling your money, handling your, all the things that you need to purchase. Make sure you're handling those things, because don't trust that the folks that tell you this price, it is that price. Go to the stores, see what's going on. I go to every store, right, including the Home Depot, or so-called Home Depots of Guyana, to make sure that my things are, the prices that they are. I purchase because I've been here for the past 8 months, going on almost 9 months. I have been there purchasing my own things because I don't want anybody else to purchase it, and then I get my own delivery trucks to deliver my things. They will tell you a price that is not true, and they will take your money, and they don't mind taking it. So just make sure that you are actually underground doing what you need to with your own monies, and making sure that it's ran as effectively as it should, right? Nobody wants to lose money stupidly. Try to turn the TV down. None of us want to lose our money stupidly, and when we are taking monies out of pocket, it's even more personal, because it's every couple of weeks that you're going into your personal account to do different jobs. So even though you're making money on the property, a lot of that money goes back into purchasing back the kind of food that you need, or food items that you need, and definitely the drinks and so on. So, you're not necessarily at this point, especially as a startup, making so much that you can both buy the things that you need and also cover all the projects. So yes, I am covering a lot of the projects from what I make from the facility these days, because I intentionally wanted to do that. I wanted to cover some of the projects that I'm doing with the money that I'm making from the facility. I'm sorry, let me turn the music down again. So that way I'm not constantly spending from out of pocket from my US account. But what I found is that I'm still going into the account, even though I say I don't want to, because some projects cost more than you're thinking it would. So for me, what I found is that, you try to use money, local money, as you can here in Guyana that you make back from your business. But again, you still end up going back into your US account, because they're find that every 2 weeks or so, You're constantly going into your account. And that's why the project or your remigration, and how you spend your money and who you trust with your project becomes so important. I personally don't trust anyone, honestly. I don't trust that people will do the right things with your business or with your investments. You have to be underground. You really need to. I'm not telling you this because I just want to talk. I'm telling you, you need to be here. So even after 8 months of me being in Guyana, my husband just came in, and I was saying this earlier. So if you rewatch the video, you will see where I'll tell you that he's leaving out to Miami tomorrow, but he is in Georgetown getting ready to take his flight back out. He's been here for 3 weeks working on the grounds with me. But one of the things that I find is that it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave because not only do you enjoy waking up here every morning, but because of the fact that you've invested your monies, you want to make sure that you're here underground doing what you need to do. Please do not mistake what I'm saying here. You gotta be here, right? Be sure that you are in every step that the contractors are taking, that you are involved in it. Even, okay, recently I just did my storage room, built my storage room. I'm going to tell you some prices so that way you're aware of what's happening. And I don't know, somebody got in here just recently saying, why am I doing this or whatever. I'm not about the small-minded people. For those of us who have lived overseas most of our lives, or a lot of our lives, we know everything is transparent, and sharing or education is absolutely important. So I'm not sure why people think that keeping things to themselves is the way to go. I've grown up in the US, so for me, being transparent is key. Be educating other people is key. So I don't know why they got on my vlog saying that I need to just be quiet, and what purpose am I doing, well, what's my purpose in doing this? Well, my purpose is educating people and to make sure that other people are given the same information, because I wish I had this information from other people who were building and doing the things that they were doing, and also trying to remigrate at the same time. So anyway, I built my storage. And I know for sure that storage didn't cost a lot of money, even though it spreaded the entire bottom of the facility. Like I would say a half of the facility is spreaded. So for me, that project of itself, I was involved in it once again. I made sure that I went and I got my cement, I got my blocks, and I got everything I needed to get that the metals, half and quarter inch metals, everything I needed to get it done. I am also going to secure the door. The door has a lock, it has a bolt, and now I'm also going to put a metal fence, or a metal, what do you call it? Like a metal grill over it, because I just feel like as though it needs as much protection, because you're going to use that to put certain materials inside. And even though I won't have like high-end material in there, it's just going to be basic things. You just don't want anybody coming in taking your things anyway, because it's yours and you paid money for it, and you want to make sure that they're secure. So once again, I got involved in making sure that I went and I got all the things that I needed. I don't trust that anybody will do what you are supposed to be doing, and as well as you can do it. So for me, I have just been underground doing the work with all the contractors. I'm going to get here at 9 o'clock. I am here at about 8:45 because I want to make sure that I don't miss them. Now, there are times when I'm coming in a little later and they're already here, which is good because, like I said before, I really haven't had any bad experience with the contractors, and I have been very fortunate in that sense. However, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, a lot of times people will bamboozle you. You have to know your prices, you have to know what's going on at the stores, and you just got to be involved. Just be detailed about everything. I've kept every single receipt that I need to. I haven't been able to go back and calculate what it is that I've spent so far, but I've got every single receipt. And one day I will definitely go through my receipts and calculate the amount of monies that I've spent, and I will share it. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. I think that for those of us who are remigrating, who have spent most of our lives overseas, we want to know this information so that way we can make the best decisions possible for our future businesses and our future investments, period. So with that said, um, I feel good about everything else, right? So be involved, definitely. Um, I don't trust that people will do the best job for you as you will do for yourself. So do it yourself. Be on the ground. And if you can be on the ground, even for one little project that you're doing, make sure that you have contact with the distributors of your materials, so that way you can send your the monies directly to them, and they can actually do the work for give contractors the materials. There's no way for them to cut short on your materials other than them trying to steal it when it is that when they've gotten it. Now the only way that I can see that they will do that is this way. They can tell you that they need 200 BMs, for example, right, to do your floorboards or whatever. Now, if they tell you 200 BMs and they actually only needed 150, then obviously they have walked away with 50. So you're really looking for the person who is unscrupulous in their behavior. But to be honest with you, in Guyana, these people are something else. It's from the top to bottom. They all get involved with some sort of unscrupulous behavior, if you ask me. So many people, or too many people. So I would say, still advise you to be here if you can, right? And if you can't, get somebody that you can really, really trust, someone who is trustworthy. Hard to find, but really, really, really look deep and hard to find that person who you can send your things to, and know that if you bought your 200 floorboards, that they're all going to your floors, and someone else isn't taking 50 of them, because the distributors can very well give them 200 and they can use 150. No way that you can tell that kind of stuff. So they'll always try to get over on you, no matter what you do. Now, with me being here, when they tell me I need 150 of anything, or if I need 120 blocks, I go get my 120 blocks. I put my blocks there. I am watching my work. They're not. Nobody's taking anything off my facility. So the reality of my complex here. So the reality of it is that they will come and get the work done, and every block that they say they're going to use needs to be used. If there are a few that's left back, that's fine. That's not a problem. But the fact is that they're not going to take 75 out of that 150 blocks and walk away with it, right? Because I'm here, right? So that's one of the good things about being underground. We have a couple of more things to complete, and we're not leaving. Like, I'm not leaving until those things are completed. The fence needs to be protected. Even though you have a full fence, you still need the guardrails on it. So for now, I've gotten two quotes, and they're both around the same thing, and it looks really good. They're about $1,400 to US dollars to do the entire fence, well, except one side where my neighbor is. And my yard is 65 by 107. So length and width, right? So obviously width is 65, length is 107. So it's a really pretty sizey, complex. So I'm going to purchase it and then get them working. Now the other thing is that, so that you won't be, is that we broke things up. We decided, okay, we'll do the front part, and then we'll do the side, and then we'll do the back. Because there's so much money going into the project already, we have to break things up in order to make things much more, so that we're not stressed out financially. So, and again, remember, this project is being done out of pocket. So you're trying to make sure that everything is done, and that everything is upgraded, everything is well put together, and you're not stressing financially. So doing it partially is fine. I see lots of houses all over the place going up, and I wonder why people don't finish it, because I think one of the things is that money becomes an issue. And it becomes an issue because people try to do it out of pocket as well. And I think a lot of the houses are pretty big, and you can see the structure of it is very high and very, very wide. However, to take on those large projects, you also need larger money. Um, I went purposefully with a smaller building because I already kind of figured out how much it would cost for me to build a building like this size, and then I can do the outside piece by piece. I don't have to, once I have the inside going, I can work on the outside. So my inside is completed, well, except for my walls, which needs to be stained. But outside of that, everything else is completed. So I have no problem with having hosting inside. The outside, I do host, like I said prior to this conversation, and with hosting, I put down the tents. My kitchen is almost completed. It's about 85% completed. It's got a 50% more to go. I'll take you outside in a bit and show you. And then, after that, it'll be just fine. Everything should be good. For me to begin to rent the place for dinners and for birthday dinners and anniversary dinners and so on. Even though I do it now, it'll be more comfortable at that point when I start renting once the kitchen is completed. And so the next project is the bathroom. So this Friday, I plan to use about $400, which is about $80,000, to buy my blocks. 80,000 Guyana GYD Guyana dollars, to buy my blocks. I already got my steel. I have to get what else? The cement, right? And I have to get I think, yeah, blocks, cement, zinc